what they say, find it. I'm looking, I'm searching, because sometimes it's a little hard.
Symphony speak to me, and when I close my eyes, I be listening frequently. I got the right vibe, just tune into my frequency.
Testing, can you hear me? I'm so thick up in these jeans. These boys, they wanna on me. Why am I is the way that I'm is? Because that's the way God intended me to be. And that's how I'm going to keep being, because I don't have no intentions on stopping. I feel like I didn't come this far just to come this far. Because I can do all things through which God will strengthen me. I don't make the rules. I didn't write it. It's what was said, and it's what's told, and it's what's true. So that's why I just give thanks. I give thanks to God. I give thanks to Source. I give thanks to my ancestors. And I give thanks to myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm showing up. And before we get into this podcast, I guess the appropriate thing would be to say hello and what's up and what's the deal, everybody. It's your host that always gonna do the most, Justice Jackson. And this is another podcast on It's Giving Justice. This one don't got no script, y'all. I ain't even gonna hold you. Ain't no script. I think that the title actually is going to be The Rent is Due. And the reason why I say the rent is due, because it's time for you to show up for you, and it's time for you to do you. We can't just be wasting all of this time doing all these other things that are not relevant to what we really want to do. You know what I'm saying? The journey is always going to be the journey, okay? Now, how you get there is up to you. What choices you make are up to you, and it's between you and God. And I feel I have found myself definitely making some choices out of fear, and I'm understanding why there's been such discourse in that. Because again, what are we going on? This would be year 2025, maybe year 3 now that I've quit my job and took a leap of faith. And that wasn't a move off of fear. That was pure, you know what, confidence, strength. I'm gonna do this. My faith is here. I'm gonna jump. Don't make me do it. I'm gonna jump. And I jumped. And it's been the greatest thing for me. And not too long ago, y'all, I ain't even gonna hold you. Entrepreneurship is really aligned with spirituality, okay? Entrepreneurship is truly and genuinely spirituality, because it really requires faith. They're not always gonna pay you on time. Their expectations are going to be extremely high, and you're gonna have to find your spirit and sit and be still so that you can find the peace to do what needs to be done. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether you work a 9 to 5 or you do entrepreneurship, you got to get the stuff done. And honestly, entrepreneurship turns into a 24-hour job, for real, for real. So earlier this year, things was getting rough. You know, all my little, I won't say my little, and I won't say my hustles. All of my opportunities were not paying me in a way that I would like to be paid, and not in the speed that I would like to be paid. But everything is always going to be on God's time. And every time I would worry about my rent not being paid, about my bills not being paid, God would give me that money right when I needed it. Like, I'm talking about sometimes even on the 4th and the 5th. And I'm looking at everybody like, y'all panicking? Because I'm not. What am I going to do? There's nothing that I can do but be calm and be cool. But I wasn't. A little period of that time, I was not being calm, cool, and collected, and sexy. Actually, that was being sexy. But anyway, not the point, okay? I was praying to God, like, God, like, do I need to start door dashing? Like, I need to get a job. I need to da-da-da. And I've always elevated. When it comes to a job, baby, I'm always elevating. The last time I cleaned the bathroom was the last time I cleaned the bathroom. And I said, I will never be doing this again. And ever since then, I've just been on the up, okay? But sometimes you have moments where they bring you to humble. And humbling is not meaning this energy of tearing yourself down and saying, hey, relax, I don't know who you think you are, but hey, pay attention to who you are, what you're doing, and be for real with yourself. That's what humbling has been for me. Being for real with myself, and that's just really it. You know, when you actually are saying, okay, let's not be delusional. We can have faith, but faith ain't delusion, and be so serious right now. And I can honestly say that I was banking a lot of what I feel I needed to make in order to take care of things and other things that I wanted to do was all in this one opportunity. Money isn't just going to come from obviously the highest source, but it's not going to come from these infinite everything. It's going to come from everything building brick by brick by brick, little strokes until you see the bigger image. And now I was losing this mindset. I'm not going to hold you. Like I said, I started, God, please send me a job. I can't stress. I'm worried. Even though God would keep showing up. So God said, okay, you're going to learn today, because you keep asking for these jobs and these positions, and you don't even know what you're asking for. But I'm going to give it to you, because I give you everything, every time. And I see you've been putting in the work. So God blessed me with a job, and I received that job. And I am still grateful for that job. Even with learning, I absolutely do not like it. Now, I feel my trouble, and when I'm experiencing gratitude, is that sometimes I be complaining. And the Minister Farrakhan said, stop complaining and be grateful. I also personally don't want to hear people complaining all the time. Like, find a solution. Find a solution. And sometimes the solution, all the time, the solution is definitely finding the faith. The silver lining to say, hey, you know what? I'm clearly experiencing this for a reason, and definitely for the season, okay? I won't be experiencing this for the long run, but something is happening in this moment, and all that I can do is alchemize it. That's how you approach what you feel your complaints are, and how to have gratitude for them. I am learning this in real time. I am actually saying this out loud and saying to myself, oh, that's it. Because I've been at this job, and every other day I'm crying, I'm complaining, I'm talking mess. I'm trying to take the strength to alchemize every experience, okay? And I'm talking about every experience, and not just, oh, it'll be all right, but being honest, like I said, being humble. Something is happening for me to learn. That's all that life is. It's just a big playground for us to learn. And this is why I think when you look at things in that aspect, it kind of makes that detachment process that you have to have for life, for things, for people, just a wee bit easier. That's another subject. I have been struggling with my detachment. And I think it's because my pride wants to be like, I want you to be accountable and say you were wrong and I was right and yada, yada, yada. And that's honestly not what I want in my hearts of heart. What I do want in my hearts of heart is accountability, but accountability with reason. And reason for understanding everything has a cause and effect. We aren't just making these choices just because we want to just be making these choices. Just because, you know what, I decided today I'm going to switch up on you. No, something must have transpired, and it would be great if you would just take a second to look and see why that's happening. And that's also, to me, it's a double-edged sword. Both parties have to be doing that, okay? We must be saying, okay, you must be behaving like this because this is happening. Whether that's something that I've done to you directly or it's something that you're experiencing in your own world. The reason why this behavior is coming about is because of a popcorn effect, a chemical reaction. And the grace in that, not letting it slide because boundaries are important, but the grace in that is being able to know you and I are both having an experience. No matter how close you may be, best friend, sister, everyone is having their own personalized experience. And sometimes we will fit for that person in that reason, in that season, to help better, to guide, to whatever, but none of it is permanent. And sometimes that sucks, you know? Like, dang, I've been best friends with this person for 10 years. What do you mean? We've come to the end of the road. I'm not ready to let you go. But sometimes you have to, because when you do learn to let people go, for whatever reason, you are learning a boundary. And I think that setting boundaries and moving in boundaries is not easy. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why for myself personally. I be feeling guilty when I set boundaries. And I thought that my people-pleasing days, oh, I'm done, I'll be talking my stuff. Actually, no. I've had such the complete opposite of the journey. I've realized, okay, boundary and standing up for myself require for me to say what's needed and not necessarily how I feel. Now, I'm not saying do not articulate, you know, what it is that you're feeling, but say what you need to say about your feelings, because the reality is our feelings change. It's not for me to cast judgment. It's not for me to necessarily say, oh, you got me messed up because you're moving like this and I'm not. But it is for me to say, hey, you know, I get that, but that's not where I'm at right now. That's not my frequency. That's not where I want to move. And try to articulate that in the best way that you can. Now, as I'm saying this, give your girl some grace. because I too have moved in ways where I probably didn't articulate that the best. I didn't say that the best. Also, at the same time, I said what I said. So it's like, I can still always give myself the grace and humbling moment to say, hey, I could have done better on that. I could have done better on that. But I'm not going to shame and guilt myself because I didn't. I'm going to keep it pushing and I'm going to keep it moving because I still feel that way. But now I'm just learning how to actually say what's needed and address it as such. You get what I'm saying, y'all? I've been having these really, really just like profound prophetic movements, motions, experiences, all the same thing that are guiding me just to a lot. And I think that every moment has guided me right now, honestly, truly, to being forgiving, learning how to actually forgive. Sometimes I see people and I'm like, like this voice in the back of my head, snippy, snippy, snappy. But the reality is, like in my hearts of heart, like that's for me to heal. That don't got nothing to do with them. Whatever it is that I may feel towards somebody don't got nothing to do with them. It's either a boundary that I've already created or I just got more healing that I have to do. Honestly, it's really not easy, y'all. It's really a challenge. But I will say this about setting your boundaries. If you are around people and you set a boundary and they get offended by that, that means it's working. That actually, learning in real time, that actually means that it's working. If I say, hey, I don't like this, and you say, oh, whoop-de whoop, 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 I wanted you to do that because now I know that I need to move around because you're not getting it, and I don't need you to get it. It's for me to get because it's my boundary to begin with. I'm 3 months sober from liquor, 2 months sober of weed, and I've heard the comments of me being an a-hole or I'm so serious or I'm so direct. And I was talking to my cousin, of course, Taurus 444, who's an earth sign, and she was just like, it is what it is. And I feel that. Like, I'm not going to keep guilting and shaming myself or feeling that I need to have this responsibility to show up some type of way for people. I need to be who I need to be for me. And if who I'm needing to be for me is aligning and allowing me to be the person that you may need in your life, and at that time, I'm grateful and gratitude. But I cannot, and what we won't be doing is holding myself to that standard. In every space that I'm in, I want to show up as myself. If I cannot show up as myself in any space, and I mean any space, I'm not showing up. I'm not showing up. And I'm so serious about that. What is the point of showing up somewhere if you cannot be yourself? You gonna show up as somebody else and then return back to being yourself? No, you're gonna start masking to where you have to be that person every time until you're fed up. And now everybody looking at you like you switched up, you being different. No, this is actually who I've been this whole entire time. And when we take on the responsibility of being who other people need us to be, you start losing yourself. I cannot do that no more in my relationships. I'm not interested in doing that anymore in my relationships. I need to be who I need to be. And I need to be who I need to be for myself because I'm the one that got to deal with me. I'm the one going and growing through my journey. Okay? I'm not going to put the responsibilities of what I need into the hands of my friends, my lovers, my family even. I'm not doing that. I need to put that up with God, and I'm just grateful to have a community around me that surrounds me, that is here. I'm at a point where however you choose to move with me is how you choose to move with me, and it's not my responsibility to tell you how to do that. Everything just actually is what it is, and I'm going to move in that frequency. I don't need to change anything. I want everything to be exactly how it is so I can see where I want to be, how I want to do, if I want to be involved, etc., so on and so forth. I'm just at a point where, like, you know, I just know it's all gonna work out. I'm finna cry. I just know it's all gonna work out, man. Who I am, who you are, is more than enough. Like, it's more than enough to get you to exactly where you want to go, and God wants you to be just that. And have fun, okay? Have fun. Don't take this stuff so serious. Give everybody grace and compassion, and set boundaries with everybody, and stand on your boundaries with everybody. People will come and people will go, and that's not in this sinister way, but it's like, I don't look at grieving as a moment for me to be sad. Yes, you're not here physically, but I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that I got to experience you, whether you are physically here or not. And that's how I start looking at grieving, whether people pass and are still here physically or pass and no longer are here. Let's start celebrating. Let's start celebrating those exes that you had. Let's start celebrating those terrible friend groups that you created. Let's start celebrating that nasty, toxic work environment that you're in. Let's be grateful. And this is how I know this is coming in full circle. Being grateful is understanding there was a lesson and there's a moment to appreciate in it all. I have so much gratitude because everything that I experienced, I lived through. I didn't just experience it. I lived through it, okay? I did that to the point where nobody can shame me. Nobody can say, oh, well, you used to, and you used to do this, and you used to, and what about it? I did it. What? You cannot shame me. I found God, and that's what I did. And I'm trying to tell you to go do the same thing, whether that be a source, a tree, your journal, your mama, yeah, whoever, go. Find something, not someone, but something higher than yourself to help you, because we can't do it alone. I ain't sitting here saying, oh, I do this all by myself. I'm a G. No. It's Big G. It's the man above that carries me, which is why I can move the way that I move. I'm not scared to walk on my journey alone, because I'm never lonely. I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. Confidently lost. I'm confident. I may be in this stage like, oh my God, I got this job I don't like, and oh my God, I'm complaining, am I not grateful? And I may be just a little bit lost, but I know where I'm going. Maybe I need to activate my GPS. Maybe I need to put it on airplane mode and do a little hard reset. I don't know what I'm going to do, but whatever it is that I'm doing, I know where I'm going. Okay? I don't care if I'm walking in stilettos, Timbs, platforms, chanclas. Baby, I'm getting there. My bare feet, crawling hands and knees, I'm getting there. I'm so done with self-limited beliefs, self-doubt, fear. I'm done. I don't got nothing for you. I'm looking at you in your face like, what's up, what's happening? What you want to do? You want to tussle? I want to tussle. Whatever the dance was. Like, we can fall in one for real. When it comes to me, I don't mind. I don't mind. When I say I don't mind, I mean, when it comes to me, I'm standing on business about me, because nobody else will. Not the way that I will. And I've learned that through friendships, relationships, work, anything. No one's going to stand on business about you but you. So stand up while you're being weak in the knees. This is me to me. Pissing myself off. My camera is going to die, so I'd rather just wrap this up. I know that was straight edge and shoot, but I'm here and I'm present. I feel strength. I feel strengthened. I feel good. I feel great. I'm glad I got to cry. I'm glad I got to feel what I needed to feel. And I will say what needs to be said when I have that space. And sometimes that space coming to you, it may take time, and it will come. Don't rush it. Be calm. Be cool, baby. Crazy, but cool, calm, collective, and sexy. And be still. I was just talking to my homegirl Jazz. Being still, we are no longer having to look for peace. The peace is within, because I can create it right here, right now. Just take a couple breaths. Be easy.